The human's name was Evan. He was not a soldier. He was not a hero. He was just a human engineer sent to a deep space station to help fix old systems built by alien hands. Evan had learned one important rule during his time among aliens: stay calm, speak slow, and never assume they understand humor. That rule slipped from his mind on that day. The station was large, quiet, and clean. The walls glowed with soft blue light. Alien voices echoed in long halls. Evan stood in a social chamber, holding a warm drink made from plants he could not name. Around him were traders, officers, and diplomats from many worlds. Across the table stood 3 alien sisters. They were tall and graceful, their skin smooth like polished stone. Their eyes reflected light in strange colors. Everyone on the station knew who they were. The sisters came from a powerful alien family. They were respected, they were feared, and they were very curious about humans. The sisters watched Evan closely. "You are alone again," one sister said in a calm voice. Evan smiled. He had heard this question many times before. Humans were rare here. Humans were strange. Humans were always watched. He lifted his drink and laughed softly. "I guess so," he said. "I'm single." He meant it as nothing. Just a joke. Just a human word said, without thought. The room changed instantly. The sisters froze. Their eyes widened. Their breathing slowed. The sound in the chamber faded, as if the station itself was listening. Before Evan could say anything more, the sisters moved. 2 of them stepped forward at the same time. One grabbed Evan's left arm. The other grabbed his right. Their grip was firm, not painful, but strong. The 3rd sister stood close, her eyes locked on his face. Evan's smile vanished. Hey, he said. "What's going on?" No one answered. Around them, other aliens stopped talking. Some turned away. Others stared in shock. A low sound moved through the crowd, something between fear and surprise. The 3rd sister spoke slowly. "You have declared availability." Evan blinked. "What?" he asked. "You spoke the binding words," she continued. "You declared yourself unclaimed." Evan laughed again, nervous this time. No, he said quickly. "I was joking. It's just a saying. It doesn't mean." The grip on his arms tightened. The 1st sister leaned closer. Her voice was cold and serious. "Humans may joke," she said, "but our people do not." Evan's heart began to race. He looked around, hoping someone would help, someone who understood humans. But no one moved. No one spoke. A tall alien officer approached slowly. His uniform marked him as station authority. He looked at Evan, then at the sisters, and finally lowered his head in respect. "The claim has been witnessed," the officer said. "Claim?" Evan repeated. "Wait, this is a misunderstanding." The 3rd sister raised her hand. "Silence," she said. "This moment must be recorded." Small floating devices moved closer, lights blinking as they captured everything. Evan swallowed hard. He had survived space travel. He had worked in dangerous zones. He had faced machine failures that could kill him in seconds. But nothing felt as dangerous as this silence. "I didn't know," Evan said carefully. "On Earth, being single just means you are free. It's not a promise." The sisters exchanged looks. Something unreadable passed between them. "Freedom," one sister repeated slowly, tasting the word. The officer stepped closer. "Human Evan," he said. "Your words activated ancient law." Evan's breath caught. "Ancient law?" "He asked." The 3rd sister nodded. "You have spoken before witnesses," she said. "You cannot take the words back." Evan felt the cold truth settle in his chest. A joke. One sentence. One human habit. And now the entire station was watching him like he had just changed his fate forever. As security moved closer and the sisters tightened their hold, Evan realized something terrifying in this place. Human jokes were not funny. They were dangerous. Evan did not resist when the station guards arrived. He knew fighting would only make things worse. The three alien sisters still held his arms, not like prisoners, but like something valuable they refused to release. The walk through the station felt long. Every corridor they passed became quiet. Aliens stopped their work. Some bowed their heads to the sisters. Others stared at Evan with wide eyes. Whispers followed him, sharp and low, in languages he could not understand. Evan's mind raced. This is a mistake, he thought. Someone will explain. Someone will fix this, but no one did. They entered a circular chamber made of dark metal and glowing symbols. The air felt heavy. This was not a normal room. Evan could feel it. This place carried power. The sisters finally released his arms, but only after he stood in the center of the chamber. Guards took positions near the walls. Floating lights activated, shining down on him like a spotlight. Evan took a slow breath. "Okay," he said, trying to sound calm. "Can we talk now?" The eldest sister stepped forward. Her voice was steady and firm. "We are talking," she replied. Evan shook his head slightly. "No, I mean, really talk. On Earth, words can mean different things. Humor is dangerous," the second sister interrupted. Evan looked at her. "Yes," he admitted. "Sometimes, but it is never meant to bind another being." The third sister studied him closely. Her eyes moved across his face, his posture, his small movements. "Humans speak without weight," she said. "Our kind does not." One of the elders entered the chamber. His body was covered in marks of age and honor. The room shifted as everyone showed respect. "Explain the law," the elder said. The eldest sister turned to Evan. "Among our people," she began, "to declare oneself unclaimed before witnesses is an open bond signal. It invites claim. It demands response." Evan's stomach dropped. "So, by saying I'm single," he said slowly, "I invited this?" "Yes," she answered. Evan raised his hands. "I didn't know your rules." "Humans don't have one meaning for that word. It's casual, light, sometimes even sad," he said. The elder tilted his head. "You joke about loneliness?" he asked. Evan paused. "Sometimes," he said honestly. "Humans joke to survive hard feelings." A ripple of quiet moved through the chamber. The second sister stepped forward. "Our people do not joke about bonds," she said. "Bonds are survival." Evan nodded. "I respect that," he said. "But respect goes both ways. Humans survive differently." The elder looked thoughtful. "You claim ignorance," he said. "Yet the law remains." Evan clenched his fists, then relaxed them. "Then judge my intent," he said. "Not just my words." The chamber fell silent. Intent. It was a strange concept to many alien species. Words were law. Sound was action. Meaning was fixed, but humans were different. The third sister spoke again. "Your intent is unclear," she said. "Your body shows fear, not deception." Evan swallowed. "I'm scared because I don't want to offend you," he said. "And I don't want to lose my freedom over a joke." The word freedom echoed again. The elder looked at the sisters. "Humans value choice," he said slowly. "This is known." The eldest sister did not deny it. "They also bring chaos," she replied. Evan allowed himself a small smile. "That part is true," he said. For the first time, a few aliens shifted in confusion. The elder raised his staff. "Law does not break," he said, "but interpretation may bend." Evan's heart jumped. "There is an ancient clause," the elder continued, "for species whose speech carries layered meaning." The sisters stiffened. "This clause is rarely used," the second sister warned, "because few species are so uncontrolled," the elder replied. Several eyes turned back to Evan. "You will be examined," the elder said. Your people's nature will be weighed. Evan nodded. That's fair, he said. The eldest sister stepped closer to him. No. This human, she said quietly. If your intent is proven false, the bond will stand. Evan met her gaze. And if it's proven true? He asked. The sister did not answer. Guards moved forward again. As Evan was led away, he realized something important. Humans were not weak here. They were unknown. And sometimes, being unknown was the most dangerous thing of all. Evan stood alone. In the center of the chamber, the guards had stepped back, but their eyes never left him. The three alien sisters stood together now, their posture straight, their faces unreadable. The elder watched from his raised platform, silent and waiting. This was the moment. Evan knew it. If he spoke wrong again, there would be no fixing it. He took a slow breath and placed his hands in front of him, palms open. It was a human gesture, old and simple. It meant peace. I want to be clear, Evan said calmly. I refuse the bond. A sharp sound moved through the chamber. Some aliens reacted with shock. Others leaned forward in interest. The sisters did not move, but their eyes hardened. The eldest sister spoke first. You reject us, she said. Evan shook his head quickly. No, he replied. I reject the mistake. There is a difference. The second sister stepped forward. Your words declared availability, she said. You cannot deny them now. Evan looked at her. I am denying the meaning you gave them, he said softly. Not your honor. That caused a pause. Aliens did not often separate words from meaning. For most species, they were the same thing. The elder raised one clawed hand. Explain, he commanded. Evan nodded. Humans speak in layers, he said. We joke. We exaggerate. We hide fear behind laughter. Words change meaning depending on tone and place. The third sister tilted her head. Why would a species choose confusion? She asked. Evan smiled faintly. Because life is confusing, he answered. That answer surprised many. The elder studied Evan closely. You claim your species does not bind itself with casual speech, he said. Yes, Evan replied. Binding requires choice, clear choice. The eldest sister's voice dropped. And what of our choice? She asked. Your words summoned it. Evan met her gaze without fear. And I respect that, he said. That is why I stand here, not running, not hiding. The chamber grew quiet again. Evan continued. On Earth, refusing something does not mean disrespect. It means honesty. And honesty is how humans show honor. The elder turned slightly, considering this. Honor without obedience, he said. Honor with responsibility, Evan corrected. That word again. Responsibility. The sisters exchanged looks. Their bond was strong, but even they felt something shift. The second sister spoke. If we release you, she said, our family loses face. Evan nodded slowly. I understand, he said. Then let me carry that weight with you. Let the record show I did not mock you. Let it show I stood openly and spoke truth. The third sister studied him carefully. You do not beg, she said. No, Evan replied. Humans don't beg when we believe we are right. That caused a ripple of unease. Some alien stepped back. The elder tapped his staff against the floor. This human does not display weakness, he said. Nor dominance, he displays balance. The word was rare. Dangerous. The eldest sister took a step closer to Evan. You risk angering powerful houses, she warned. Evan nodded again. I know, he said. But I would rather face anger than live in a lie. Silence. Long, heavy. Then the elder spoke. There exists an old protocol, he said slowly. For species whose communication creates unintended bonds. The sisters stiffened. That protocol has not been used in generations. The second sister said. Because few species are this unpredictable, the elder replied. All eyes turned. Back to Evan. You will undergo judgment, the elder said. Not of words but of nature. Evan exhaled. That's all I ask, he said. The eldest sister looked at him for a long moment. You are strange, she said finally. Evan allowed himself a small smile. That's what everyone says about humans. For the first time something unexpected happened. The third sister smiled back, just slightly. As guards moved forward to escort Evan away, the elder spoke one last time. Human Evan, he said, your refusal has not ended this matter. Evan nodded. I didn't expect it would, he said. As he left the chamber, Evan understood something important. He had refused politely. He had spoken honestly. And in doing so, he had changed the rules. Asterisk. The chamber was no longer empty. By the time Evan was brought back, the room was filled with beings from many worlds. Rows of observers floated, stood or rested along the curved walls. Lights hovered in the air, recording everything. This was no longer a private matter. This was a trial. Evan stood in the center again. His hands were free, but he felt more trapped than before. Every eye in the chamber watched him. Some looked curious, some looked angry. Others looked afraid. The three alien sisters stood together across from him. They wore formal markings now, symbols of family and status glowing on their skin. Their posture was proud, but there was tension in their stillness. The elder raised his staff. This hearing is now open, he announced. The matter of the spoken claim will be judged before witnesses. A low sound moved through the crowd. Evan swallowed. He reminded himself to stay calm. The eldest sister stepped forward. Our family has been dishonored, she said clearly. A public claim was made. It was then refused. Whispers spread. Refusal was rare. Public refusal was dangerous. Evan listened without interrupting. Our response was correct, the second sister continued. Our law demanded it, the third sister's voice followed. And yet, she said, the human claims ignorance. All eyes turned to Evan. The elder looked at him. You may speak, he said. Evan stepped forward one small step. I never meant to claim anyone, he said. Simply, I never meant to insult anyone. A few aliens shifted. You used the words, someone called out. Yes, Evan replied. But words are not weapons for humans. They are tools. Sometimes dull ones. The elder lifted his hand for silence. You admit fault? He asked. Evan shook his head slowly. I admit difference, he said. Not fault. That caused a stir. The eldest sister narrowed her eyes. You stand in a foreign court, she said. You do not define fault here. Evan met her gaze. No, he said, but I define who I am. The chamber grew quiet. Evan continued, his voice steady. If my words caused harm, then I regret the harm. But forcing a bond would cause greater harm. To me. And to you. The second sister stepped forward sharply. You speak as if you understand our pain, she said. I don't, Evan answered honestly. But I'm trying to. That honesty surprised many. The elder leaned forward. You could have accepted, he said. You would gain protection, status, and safety. Evan nodded. Double quotes yes, he said. But it would be false. False. That word carried weight even here. The third sister studied him closely. You choose uncertainty over security, she said. Yes, Evan replied. Humans do that often. Some aliens reacted with confusion, others with interest. The elder turned to the sisters. If the bond stands, he said, it will be legal, but it will not be whole. The sisters said nothing. Evan took another breath. I will not shame you, he said to them. I will not laugh at this. Let the record show that I stood openly and took responsibility for my mistake. Responsibility. Again, that word. The eldest sister's expression shifted. Just slightly. The elder raised his staff again. The court will examine intent, he declared. Until then, The human will remain under observation. A murmur passed through the chamber. This was not a punishment. It was consideration. As guards moved to escort Evan away, the third sister spoke quietly. "Human," she said, "you do not act like prey." Evan paused and looked back. "We're not," he said simply. That answer spread through the room like a shockwave. As Evan left the chamber, he felt something change. The crowd no longer looked at him with only judgment. Some looked thoughtful. Some looked unsure, and a few looked impressed. Behind him, the three sisters stood in silence, realizing something unsettling. This human had not bowed. He had not attacked. He had stood equal, and that made him dangerous. Evan did not sleep that cycle. The room given to him was quiet and clean, but his mind would not rest. Outside the transparent wall, stars moved slowly as the station turned. Somewhere beyond those walls, an entire alien society was deciding what humans truly were. Not weak, not strong, just different. When the guards returned, Evan was ready. They led him back to the chamber, but this time the room felt different. Fewer guards, softer lights. The crowd was gone. Only the elder remained, along with several high-ranking observers and the three sisters. The elder spoke first. "Human Evan," he said, "we have examined records of your species." Evan nodded. "We have seen your wars," the elder continued. "Your failures, your destruction." Evan lowered his eyes. "Yes," he said. "We're not proud of all of it." The second sister stepped forward. "But we have also seen your recovery," she said. "Again and again." Evan looked up. "That part matters more," he said quietly. The elder tapped his staff. "Many species collapse after one great fall." He said, "Humans rebuild." Evan did not smile. "We don't have a choice," he said. "We either rebuild or we end." The third sister watched him closely. "You are physically weaker than many," she said. Evan nodded. "True," he agreed. "You lack natural armor," she continued. "Also true. You are slow compared to hunters of this galaxy." Evan shrugged. "Depends on the day." The elder raised one hand. "And yet," he said, "you stand before us unbroken." Silence followed. Evan spoke carefully. "Humans survive because we adapt," he said. "We learn fast, we change fast, and we don't give up easily." The eldest sister stepped closer. "You turned a dangerous mistake into negotiation," she said. "That is not weakness." Evan met her gaze. "It's practice," he replied. "We've been misunderstood before." The elder's eyes narrowed. "You value freedom above safety," he said. "Yes," Evan answered. "Because safety without choice is just another cage." That sentence caused a pause. Several observers shifted. The third sister spoke again. "You accept responsibility," she said, "even when it costs you." Evan nodded. "That's how trust starts," he said. The elder leaned forward. "Your humor caused this conflict," he said. "Why keep it?" Evan thought for a moment. "Because humor reminds us we're alive," he said. "It helps us face fear without breaking." The sisters exchanged glances. The second sister spoke softly. "Our people avoid fear," she said. "That's understandable," Evan replied. "But humans walk straight into it, sometimes laughing." The elder straightened. "The court has reached a conclusion," he said. Evan held his breath. "Humans are not careless," the elder continued. "They are layered." Layered. That word again. "The bond will not be forced," the elder declared. "To do so would violate human nature." A low sound moved through the chamber. The eldest sister closed her eyes briefly. "And our honor?" she asked. The elder turned to her. "Intact," he said, "because the human did not mock. He stood." The sisters relaxed, just slightly. The elder looked at Evan. "Your species will be recorded as a free bond civilization," he said. Interaction protocols will be updated. Evan blinked. For everyone? He asked. For all humans, the elder confirmed. Evan exhaled slowly. That matters, he said. The third sister stepped forward. You changed more than your fate, she said. You changed law. Evan smiled faintly. Wouldn't be the first time, he said. For the first time. The eldest sister allowed a small smile. You are still strange, she said. Evan nodded. Double fair. As Evan was escorted out, not as a prisoner, but as a guest, he realized something important. Humanity was not feared for its strength. It was respected for its spirit. And somewhere in the galaxy, 3 powerful alien sisters were beginning to see humans not as mistakes, but as equals. Evan expected freedom to feel loud. Instead, it felt quiet. After the court decision, the station did not celebrate. There were no cheers, no sudden smiles. Change in this place moved slowly, carefully, like a large machine adjusting. One small gear at a time. Evan was given full guest status. No guards followed him now. Doors opened when he approached. Aliens nodded instead of staring. Some still watched him closely, but their eyes no longer held fear or anger. They held curiosity. The 3 sisters requested a private meeting. When Evan entered the smaller chamber, he noticed the difference at once. No guards, no elders, no recording. Lights. Just the 4 of them. The sisters stood in a triangle, their posture formal but relaxed. You may sit, the eldest sister said. Evan sat. Silence stretched between them. Finally, the second sister spoke. Our people do not lose often, she said. When we do, it leaves marks. Evan nodded. I didn't want anyone to lose, he said. The third sister studied him. And yet, something ended, she said. Yes, Evan replied. But something else started. That caught their attention. The eldest sister stepped forward. The forced bond is gone, she said, but the moment still exists. Evan leaned back slightly. I understand, he said. Moments matter. The sisters exchanged looks. Our family was watched, the second sister said. Many expected anger or punishment. And they did not get it, Evan said. No, the eldest sister replied. They saw restraint. Restraint. Among their kind. That word carried weight. The third sister spoke quietly. You did not use the law to shame us, she said. You used it to protect choice. Evan shrugged. Choice matters, he said simply. The eldest sister lowered her head, slightly, not a bow, but close. We wish to offer something different, she said. Evan raised an eyebrow. I'm listening, he said. She continued. Not a bond of ownership, she said. Not a claim. Evan relaxed. Good start, he said. The second sister allowed a brief smile. A bond of alliance, she finished. Between equals. Evan felt a shift in the room. Alliance how? He asked. The third sister answered. Cultural exchange, she said. Shared learning. Open dialogue. Evan thought of Earth, of humans still struggling to be understood. That could help, he said carefully. The eldest sister stepped closer. Our people are strong, she said, but rigid. Yours are flexible. That frightens many. Evan smiled faintly. It frightens us too, he said. The sisters reacted with surprise. You admit that? The second sister asked. Of course, Evan replied. Being human means being unsure. We move anyway. The third sister's eyes softened. That is brave, she said. Evan paused. Brave or stupid, he said. Depends on the outcome. 4. The first time, the sisters laughed. It was short, soft, uncertain. But real. The eldest sister straightened. If you accept, she said, you will act as a bridge. Not a ruler, not a symbol of control. Evan nodded. I don't want control, he said. I want understanding. The sisters stepped back, forming the triangle again. This bond, the second sister said, can be ended by choice. by either side. Evan met their eyes. "That's the only kind humans accept," he said. The eldest sister extended her hand, not to grab, not to claim, but open. Evan stood and placed his hand lightly against hers. No force. No pressure. Just contact. The moment passed quietly, but it echoed. Outside the chamber, word spread fast. Not of a claim, not of a failure, but of a new rule. That day, alien scholars began rewriting protocols. Human diplomats took notes. Observers realized something important. Humans did not conquer through strength. They did not dominate through fear. They changed systems by refusing to be owned. As Evan left the chamber, he looked once more at the sisters. "This started with a joke," he said. The third sister nodded. "And it ends with choice," she replied. Evan smiled. "Good ending," he said. But deep in the station's core, something else was beginning. Earth had been noticed, not as a problem, not as prey, but as a partner. Evan stood at the observation window as the station slowly prepared for departure. Ships moved like silent shadows against the stars. Lights blinked. Gates opened and closed. Everything looked the same as before. But Evan knew it was not. Nothing was the same anymore. He was no longer a confused human who had made a bad joke. He was now a bridge between worlds. The elder had called one last meeting. This time, it was not a trial. It was an announcement. Evan stood beside the three alien sisters, as representatives from many species watched. The chamber was filled again, but the air felt lighter. Curious, not tense. The elder raised his staff. "Let it be recorded," he said, "that human speech carries layers of meaning. Let it also be recorded that humanity values choice above force." Lights flashed as the statement was archived. "This station," the elder continued, "will recognize humans as autonomous partners, not claimable beings." A deep sound of agreement echoed through the chamber. Evan exhaled slowly. The eldest sister stepped forward. "Our family accepts this outcome," she said. "Not as defeat, but as growth." She turned to Evan. "You turned potential conflict into understanding," she said. "That is rare." Evan smiled slightly. "We've had a lot of practice," he said. The third sister spoke next. "Your people joke," she said. "Even when afraid." Evan nodded. "Especially when afraid," he replied. The second sister tilted her head. "Then perhaps," she said, "your humor is not weakness, but armor." That thought spread quickly. Observers whispered. Translators struggled to find the right words. Armor made of laughter. After the meeting, Evan prepared to leave the station. His work was done, but his impact would remain. At the docking gate, the three sisters walked with him. "This is where we part," Evan said. "For now," the eldest sister corrected. Evan paused. "You'll visit Earth?" he asked. "We will," she said, carefully. Evan smiled. "Fair." The third sister stepped forward and placed a small object in his hand. It was smooth and warm, glowing faintly. "A marker," she said. "To show you are under our protection, but not our control." Evan closed his fingers around it. "Thank you," he said. "That means a lot." The second sister studied him. "Do you regret the joke?" she asked. Evan thought for a moment. "No," he said honestly. "It started something important." The sisters nodded. As Evan boarded his ship, he looked back once more. Three powerful beings. Once angry, now thoughtful. The ship detached slowly. As Earth came closer with each jump, news traveled faster than Evan. Human diplomats received updated protocols. Alien courts revised ancient laws. Scholars debated the meaning of human speech, and everywhere one phrase appeared in records: humans joke differently. When Evan returned to Earth, he was not greeted with medals. There were no parades, just questions. What did you do? How did you survive? Are aliens dangerous? Evan answered simply. They listen, he said. If you speak honestly. Months later, the first alien delegation arrived on Earth. The three sisters walked beneath Earth's sky, feeling wind for the first time. People watched from a distance, curious, nervous, hopeful that no claims were made, that no bonds were forced, only hands offered, and somewhere in the crowd, someone laughed softly. The sisters looked at Evan. What was that? The third sister asked. Evan smiled. Just a joke, he said. They paused. Then they smiled too. In the end, the galaxy did not remember the law. It did not remember the fear. It remembered the moment a human spoke without thinking, and then stood by his values. A joke had crossed the stars, and because of it, species learned to choose.